So how did I manage to go traveling 6 months with my son in the pandemic with a low budget, getting rid of the school system that holds you stuck? How did I plan it all and how did I manage? Because it's a mental and a physical preparation. We can imagine the whole house is clean, ready to go, but it's not the reality. The first thing, mental. It's important to prepare. It's like a train getting into gears, slowly getting moving, and one thing takes the other. Look at how you can boost start. Like for example, I love to plan everything and see all the details to make sure that I will not go in the wrong direction or do it the wrong way. But that had been a very obstructive way of thinking in the end. So if you get too into reflecting and preparing
some people's trash or other people's trash,
then it's too much. And if you don't do it at all, then it's too little. So there's a fine balance there. So what I did was one day I said, to heck with it. I need to paint the floor. Just go and get some paint today. And tomorrow I'll just start doing it. I'll just take a little corner and see how it goes. In that way, it wasn't too much at once. I'm a very sensitive person because I had PTSD. I've been through so much. Yeah, I'm a real cat with more than 8 lives. And that gives you a sensitivity at the end because you've been through so much. You like to make sure that everything is going to work out fine, that you will not just stumble into something that's too big for you. Why, I put it off for a long time, and maybe you too. But there's a limit to it, and I had to just start getting up again and start doing, because otherwise it holds you down that you have to wait till the right moment. Just one thing will take the other. By starting painting the floors, I said, well, that's okay, I can do a little more. Okay, I can do a little more. And stop myself when it was time to rest, because it is a balance of rest and movement. It will give you a boost start just to get on with it, and you will learn along the way. And well, it did take me 3 weeks to do that floor because I was not doing it professionally. But I ended up managed, and I learned along the way, little by little. You can't see the whole road, you can see a part of it. When you haven't done it before, then you just need to get on with it and take a little step at a time and see how that goes. And then you get more courage to take the next step and the next. Because you see, well, I can actually manage, even though I didn't know how to do it before. And the only way is to learn along the way and improve. Be willing to improve, have patience, that it takes the time it takes, etc. In that way, you will find that your worries will start getting taken down one by one, and you find solutions to the problems that comes one by one. Because that's what life is all about, meeting up with obstacles, things that you didn't know, things that you need to improve, and solve them. Then you can get a little further on your road, and then there comes another obstacles that you need to solve and improve. Little by little, you have started building something important. That's what everybody does. This is how the people get very far. This is how I got traveling for 6 months. I just started. Well, I knew I had to take 2 or 3 months to get everything ready because it was 10 years of life. Throw things away, get things moving, what is most important and what can be left out. Because I was renting my house with Airbnb to be able to travel the world. Physically, you just start taking that small task. And I just put on some music or some videos to kind of get myself going, even though I didn't really feel like it, because I knew I would get into a lot of complications that I had to solve, and it can get us procrastinating. But I did have the cute carrot that I have been stuck for 2 years in Denmark, and I basically haven't been out of the house because I have because I have some lung problems. So I had to wait till I could finally get my vaccine, and then I had to get my child out of school, etc. But the thing is, when you put out some music and or some videos that you enjoy, do 2 or 3 tasks a day. Then it starts compounding. After 10 days, you can see that things are moving, and you get more courage along the way where you can see, oh, I actually could do that. Oh, it actually did. Well, I had some couple of problems I had to solve, but I actually did it, and I could do that. Even though I've been traveling the world, I've been stuck for 10 years in Denmark. Well, I've been traveling some, but it was just little small trips. It was not like pulling out my tent poles and just lived in 2 suitcases with my son. He's 13 years old. So how could I get me and him functioning in moving around like that? So the big chunks you start putting down and think creative. It's like a game challenging yourself to find the brightest solution possible and what makes you feel really good. Write down the big lines, start brainstorming on them. Like my big hurdles was I needed to rent out, have the money to travel. I need to get my son out of school and into homeschool to be able to travel. And I need to have a budget that I see that could hold. So first of all, for the rent, as I wasn't home, I need to find a solution, and by creatively thinking and brainstorming, say, hey, well, I can looking at Google and seeing what was the possibilities and what do others do. I realized I could have an Airbnb manager. She does take 20%, but it gave me freedom, and she would take care of everything, do the cleaning, preparing for the next key out on the key lock and all that jazz. So by giving her such a good exchange, I had my freedom, and she gets an income too on it. I love these kind of exchanges where it's kind of a win-win situation. So everybody is interested in it working well. And then there was the school. I've been thinking about it for a year, but I thought it was such a big deal how to do it. And I didn't know. Again, I just Googled and found other people and how did they get around to do it. Watching YouTubes and asking other people, reading stories of different solutions. And I've ended up by searching around to find an organization, an association that actually help people homeschool their kids, and how did they do it, and what was the rules and what I was supposed to do. And I realized that I actually only needed. Next week we'll look at the second part of prepping travel, like how to do homeschool, manage the budget, and a real amazing way to be able to go through it all in flying colors. On this, have a magnificent, wonderful day.